Today I'm going to share with you the worst self-improvement mistake that most people are making, why it's holding you back from making progress, and how you can solve this problem so you can become your highest self without all the bullshit that I've dealt with and you're probably dealing with and you don't even know about. So I've been on my self-improvement journey since I was probably 15 years old. It's been about 10 years now, believe it or not. That's pretty crazy to say out loud. The thing is, I've made a lot of progress as a person. I've done a lot of things in my life and in my career that, looking back, 15-year-old me probably would not have thought was possible based on my upbringing, based on those people that I grew up, or the people that grew up around me. And just in general, kind of the trajectory I was on. I went from being someone who probably would have ended up on heroin and dead to a kid making $1 million in his career before 25, building some muscle, doing all sorts of things. I'm not saying these things to brag, but more so just to let you know that I've rode out the highs and the lows, let's say, of self-improvement. And the thing is that looking back, there's one thing that has held me back more than anything else, and today I'm going to share that with you. So I know if you're watching this video, you're someone who wants to get better. You want to get yourself unstuck, stop getting in your own way, and just making good progress in your life so you can go kick ass and take names and do the shit you want to do, whether that's make more money, have a life you're just super stoked to wake up to every day, and not be limited by your own skill set or your own character to go out in the world and do the things or be the type of person that you want to be. So with that in mind, I want to share with you guys a couple things that recently shifted for me as I was looking back over my self-improvement journey so I can save you the trouble that I've gone through and that I know for sure other people are going through. And so the biggest thing that you got to realize is if you don't fix this thing, and I'm speaking from experience here, if you don't fix this thing, you're going to spin your wheels and you're going to get really frustrated and realize that no matter how much work you put in, you're still going to feel like shit at the end of the day and you're not going to know why. And I feel like I figured it out, and so I'm happy to share this with you today. And the biggest thing I want to start off with is realizing that self-improvement is literally self-improvement. Now you're probably saying, what the hell do you mean? Let me explain. Most people get caught in the trap of comparison when it comes to self-improvement. They're constantly looking at other people and their progress and comparing it against themselves, which kind of takes away the fun of this in the first place. You started this journey because you wanted to be a better person. You wanted a life that reflected that. But when you're so busy comparing yourself to other people, you lose the satisfaction of the work you've been putting in. Plus, you tube yourself out, so you probably end up, spiraling or feeling like shit about yourself, not realizing all this progress you've made and this evidence you've stacked of this new person that you're becoming. And the thing is with self-improvement, the mistake people make is they forget that it is self-improvement. They're so busy, especially today with all these people making content and showing their life on social media and all this other bullshit. You get so caught up looking at these other people. Well, that guy's making more money. That girl is more attractive. This dude has this. This girl has this. This person's this way. They're that way. They can speak in public. I can't. Whatever. And you lose sight of why you started it in the first place. I heard a quote from Russ, the rapper's book. I'm listening to it right now. It's pretty awesome, called It's All in Your Head. And he said, milestones can either make you feel amazing or they can make you feel behind. The only difference is comparison. If you're comparing that milestone to somebody else's, you're going to feel behind. You're not going to feel good enough in the progress you've made, even if it's technically still self-improvement. You still got better than a past version of yourself or got better than you were yesterday. But because you are looking at these other people and comparing, you don't feel like your results are good enough. The difference is if you don't compare, those milestones can make you feel amazing. You feel badass. You're like, man, maybe it's like in the gym. You're like, man, I finally squatted 315. But then you're in the gym and you see a guy squat 5 plates or a girl, God forbid, squat 5 plates or some shit. And now you're feeling like, oh, this wasn't good enough. When in reality, if you looked at, like, I'll use myself as an example. I started lifting when I was 120 pounds. And at my biggest, I got up to 220 pounds. Currently, I'm like 190 because I've kind of fell off the wagon a bit. And I still remember when I first squatted 315 and I was so stoked. I hit a 315, so a 3-plate squat, a 2-plate bench, and a 4-plate deadlift. And I remember when I first started lifting, if I could have hit that, it would have been amazing. Like, I would have been so stoked. But what ended up happening is I got stuck in the trap of comparison. I hit those, 2-plate bench, 3-plate squat, 4-plate deadlift. I felt like the man for like 0.2 seconds. And then I remember hopping on YouTube and seeing these old fitness YouTubers like David Lade and all these other guys that were around the same age squatting 315 for 20 reps or whatever. I'm feeling like shit about myself because, yeah, that wasn't good enough compared to these people when they're not me. The self-improvement journey is your journey. You're the only one in the race. I want to share something powerful my dad shared with me one day. When I was asking him for some advice, he said, don't let other people steer your ship, because if you do, you're going to end up a mixed bag of shit. They don't even know where their ship is going, so why let them steer yours? And that can fall into comparison as well. Why let these other people dictate whether your progress is good enough for you or not? Because if you do, you're going to get mixed up. It's so nuanced. You don't know what's going on in their life, which is so different than what's going on in your life. And some people have highlight reels in certain areas. Maybe that guy's super jacked. Maybe that girl's super attractive. But behind the scenes, their finances suck. Their relationships suck. You don't actually know holistically what's going on in their life. And they don't know what's going on in your life either. So just focus on your own journey. So I want to share a couple things with you guys really quick. What's helped me to overcome this is, number one, again, learning to compete with myself. Just looking at past versions of myself and saying, how can I be better than the man I was before? Or for you, if you're a woman, the woman you were before. Not worrying about what everybody else is doing. And the thing is, if you do choose to compare yourself to other people, consider having space in your mind for admiration and inspiration, not like brutal comparison. Let me explain. The difference would be if I see someone else that's, maybe making more money than me, or they're more attractive than I am, or they're more charismatic, or whatever the thing is, I'm comparing myself. Maybe their life is just badass. Like they just travel the world and do all this cool shit. Rather than looking at them and shitting on myself and being like, oh, I'm not good enough, I can look at those people and be inspired. I can be like, oh man, if he can do it or she can do it, I for sure can. And if I look at them with admiration, like, man, look at their character, look at the type of person they are. Thank you for reminding me that I can be that way too, because we as humans, we're all just mirrors to each other. We're all connected. So whatever you see in somebody else is also inside of you, and they're just there to be a mirror to that, to remind you. A couple other things. You decide what a win is. Don't get so caught up in comparing your wins to other people. Maybe your win is, I woke up this morning when I said I was going to. I drank a gallon of water. I read a book for even 5 minutes. Whatever it is, look for every possible reason that you can celebrate yourself and pat yourself on the back, because that's how you start to reprogram that internal dialogue. So you're not looking at other people like, oh, I'm not good enough, or comparing yourself. You start to build your confidence because you're looking for all these looking for the evidence, all these reasons that you are becoming who you say you're going to become through your actions. And you do that by celebrating wins, no matter how big or small. And ultimately, you decide what a win is. A couple of the things, as we talked about earlier, comparison is the thief of joy. So whatever you compare to, whether this person or thing is above you or below you in your eyes, you're not going to win, because you're either going to inflate your ego, or you're going to shit on yourself and feel bad and not make the progress you can, because you're so busy feeling bad about yourself or feeling too good. You're feeling better than you should or worse than you should, which doesn't put you in an empowered state where you just focus on yourself and stay in your lane. Lastly, I think I'll end with this. Focus on progress over perfection, right? I talked in another video, which I'll link up above, about perfectionism. The thing is, focus on progress over perfection. Just try to get 1% better every day. Or my friend McKay shared with me this thing called no 0 days. Just don't have a day in your life that goes by that you didn't at least try to get better. And as long as you're doing that, in my eyes, you're winning. So my friend, however I can support you, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below what you took away from today's video. Again, the biggest, or I guess the greatest mistake, or worst mistake is what I said, in self-improvement is not focusing on self-improvement, comparing yourself to other people. It is not about other people. It is you improving yourself, whatever that means to you. Get better than you were the day before. Focus on Kaizen, the philosophy of continuous improvement, of getting 1% better every single day. That's what this is about. It's not about comparing yourself to other people. It's not about trying to one-up others. It's about how can you beat you every fucking day until you look up and you are a completely different person with the life of your dreams, making a fuckload of money, helping a lot of people, and ultimately feeling great about yourself and your life. That's what it's about. Let me know down below what you took away. And I think if you like this video, you're going to love this video. So go ahead and check it out when you have a second. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.